Tuesday, November 5th is Election Day, and we spoke to the 6 candidates running for the 3 available seats in the Utica Council at large. We asked them the same 3 questions. Here's what they had to say.
Bringing in the hospital, making sure that the hospital works out well, and if it's within the community. On the tail of that, after the hospital, you know, we're going to be building a garage, a parking garage. Now, the big issue with that is that who's going to pay for their garage?
The paving, you know, people are concerned about the paving and the plan, the $5 million plan, along with public safety. I'm the chairman of the Public Safety Commission, and I do support it 100%. So I think keeping it a safe city will attract more people from the outside.
Well, all the development we have going on right now in the city, we have to make sure that we're financially solvent with everything, make sure that we have enough money in our budget to take care of these things. So I think that's a big, not really an issue, we just got to stay on top of it.
Primarily a leadership vacuum. It seems like many things, whether they're good or bad, are just happening to us and not happening for us or for our citizens. I think there's a lack of strategic planning, which most cities across our country have. Things, goals that are clear and our city could be working toward. It seems like everything's just happening in a big mess right now.
And there's a lot of issues with the communication and transparency that we're dealing with. And as a new candidate, the first time running for Common Council at large, I've been learning a lot lately and listening. And what I'm noticing is the lack of communication that we have in the community. And I think it's time to do something about it and change it and improve it here. And I believe we can do that.
With the roads is obviously a big issue. There's a lot of flooding issues around. There's a significant crime rate and kind of just violent crime that's going on and just making people feel uncomfortable. And there's people aren't feeling like they're heard in City Hall, and I think that's a big issue. I think the more people we can bring to the table that feel like they have an input, a more active community we have, and the better kind of type of community that we have.
I've been a parole officer for the past 20 years, so my feet are on the ground every day. I have the city of Utica as my main area where I work. So I think this is important that I'm talking to people every day and I see what goes on in the streets. More important than actually sitting in the council chambers discussing things. I'm out there, I actually see what's actually going on.
We passed legislation to have NIPA come in and replace all the lights in the city of Utica. And by doing that, it's going to make the city obviously brighter, but they're going to be adaptable to place cameras in them. So if we do have some high crime areas or there's some business districts that may need some cameras, we'll be able to place those cameras throughout the city and maybe combat crime that way.
Well, just being part of the process, be at all the meetings, get involved. Don't be an armchair leader, just get in there and get dirty. And you know, get all the committee meetings you possibly can, and information. You know, information is critical on a lot of things.
I've already put together a pretty comprehensive plan. I call it Utica 2020, and I lay out 6 strategic initiatives ranging from public safety to community development to governmental reform. Things that help improve quality of life, sustainability, and financial health for our citizens and in our city. So if I get elected, I'll work to make sure that our council adopts a plan like that and that we hold our mayor accountable to following that plan. And that way citizens know that their government is working for them and how well it's working for them.
Plans that I would improve the communication with all the people in the community is pretty much when something is happening in the community, we need to communicate with the different using a different communication, not just for example, newspaper or social media. We have to go even door to door, or we have to, there's so many other ways that we can definitely improve and inform our community before we make a decision, especially those big decisions.
I think the biggest thing is through our budgetary process, making sure that we are being proactive with our budgets, making sure that our police, fire, DPW are getting the services they need, because those are the people that are on the ground really doing a lot of that basic work for us. Beyond that, I think it's being proactive within the community, making sure that the community feels heard and bringing people, the stakeholders in the community to the forefront.
This is going to be a destination spot once the Harbor Point is completed. We just had put $6 million into the bulk walls there. We're going to have possibly amusement parks in there, possibly convention centers, some fields, different areas where people are going to come enjoy. We're going to have boat docks there. People could park their boat and things of that nature. So we plan to have people from all over New York State and maybe outside the state to come visit Utica to visit our Harbor Point.
I see the city obviously moving forward. I see a lot of job creation, especially with CRE, the downtown hospital, the Nexus Center. There's going to be abundance of jobs. I think all the loft apartments that are being built right now are going to be filled, and I see it moving in a positive direction. I think in 2 years, you're going to see most likely the Harbor Point project complete. So that's going to be a destination for everyone to come and visit Utica and hopefully spend some money.
I see the city thriving. I think the city's going in the right direction. There's more going on, and I've heard from a lot of older people in the last, in the last couple of years, over the last 50 years. I mean, buildings are going up, buildings are getting reconstructed, stuff's getting on the tax rolls, so a lot of things are happening.
Well, I think the city's got a lot of great opportunities to fix a lot of the problems of the past, to fill in some of the gaps we've had structurally and economically. For too long, too many people have been left behind by a system that's only working for very few. So I hope to broaden opportunity for everybody, bring everybody to the table, and help make decisions that are data informed and research based, so we can be well beyond 2020 and going into the future much stronger.
And I will be working to improve a lot of issues that we have, and I believe the communication transparency will definitely improve in 2 years.
My hope is that the city of Utica continues to grow, continues to, take these development projects and move them forward in responsible ways that, helps everybody. But more importantly, I want to bring City Hall to the people and make people feel like they're actually being heard in City Hall, and make them feel like they have a greater input. I think once we bring everybody together and make them feel like they have a greater input, then, like I said before, we have a community that's more engaged and a community that's working together to make a lot of these other issues go away.
We'll have the results after the election right here on WUTR and on our sister station WFXV. We'll also have all of the information up on cnyhomepage.com. Reporting in the studio, Jasmine Allen, Eyewitness News.